Frank Reich here on the Rich Eisen Show. In terms of nastiness, where does Quenton Nelson rank on people that you've, again, played with and coached?
He's at the top of the list. I mean, he's a nasty dude.
He is. We see it on film. I'm wondering what it is like to have a front row seat for that sort of thing.
Well, here's what's kind of cool about Quenton. He's not only nasty, like you remember back in the old days, there were, and I'm not going to name any names, there were guys that you would say nasty, and that almost meant nasty was synonymous with they had some dirty play in there. Quenton doesn't play dirty. He's just nasty and physically plays by the rules. He just physically is a dominant player. And that attitude is pretty infectious on our team.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in line play. I mean, you got to be able to just say, you know what, I'm gonna destroy the individual right across from me, and that's a tone setter. And in terms of that, when I say nasty, I did not mean dirty. I meant just stealing another individual's soul is basically what I meant right there. So in terms of that, who is that person you played with behind or watched play defense that ranks number one that you played with from your playing days that would steal someone's soul?
Oh man, that I played with. There's some good ones. Bruce Smith would certainly be up there. I mean, that guy was. He just had a way of. Bruce was, as a competitor, he was the best. He just was going to figure out a way to steal you, like you said, Rich. For him, stealing your soul was, it might not be running you over, but he was going to figure out a way to dominate you, and that might be running around you. It might be running through you, but he was so physically gifted. But yet had this capacity and instincts as a player that he just figured out how to dominate his opponent.
Yeah, I mean, Marshall Faulk tells a story about how the field in Buffalo has sort of like a crown to it, and Bruce would come out of the tunnel with the heat coming off, or just the heat coming off, not just it's hot because it's cold too, off people's heads, and he would stroll out with his arms all greased up. And everybody would just look at each other and go, uh-oh, this is a problem for all of us.
No, yeah, he certainly was. And you know what? The further away that I get from seeing what he did and getting a chance to, be in the same draft class as Bruce,
right?
Watch him through the years to really appreciate what he did, it just keeps getting bigger and better to me that how dominant he was. Even when he's playing in a 3-4 scheme, I know he's lined up at defensive end a fair amount too, but he's playing a 5 technique. To get 200 sacks, that's just crazy.
Well, I mean, Frank, you knowing him, anybody who's come across Bruce, certainly if he just does end up, later on have a cocktail, he will tell you that he played in the 3-4 scheme, getting 200 sacks, and he will tell you that
exactly.
that makes him a unique individual. I mean, he's not very shy in pointing that out too.
No, well, he wasn't very shy in pointing it out that he was going to get 200 sacks. I remember him telling us that, that he was going to.
No kidding.
That was a goal, that he was going to end up as the sack leader. And he just had this will to dominate and compete that not many guys have. He had just at a very high level.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.